What is going on, guys? Kenny here from 619 Guitars and Gear, and today we are going to check out and talk about my Schecter S1 Vampira. So, as always, let's get into it. Alright, well, welcome back to another video. Today's going to be a little different. We're not going to do like a full-on review with a bunch of details and different clips and everything. We're just going to sit in this chair and talk about this really awesome guitar here. We'll talk about why it's so important to me, and we'll get into a little bit of a story time. Some of you might not like story time, so warning, this is going to be a story time video. If you don't like it, you know, go watch something else, I guess. I won't be mad. But man, where do I even begin? I would say like long story short, but there really is no short story. There's no short version of this story. So I guess back in 2005-ish, when was this made? Yeah, '05. So because I got it when it was brand new and just came out. I was a stagehand for a local venue, and I remember it was a 3-day thing. It was like 2 days of rehearsal, and the third day was the show because it was the first show of the tour. It was Coheed and Avenged Sevenfold. And at that time, I loved Avenged Sevenfold. I pretty much wanted to be Zachy Vengeance, and I loved the Schecter S1. I wanted his guitar so freaking bad. And yeah. I ended up working that show, and at that time I had like zero responsibilities, so I got paid, and I was like, I'm going to buy a guitar, like right now. So I remember me and my brother went, and we went to a store called Let's Jam, and this thing was just hanging there, and I went right to it, and I was like, this is like meant to be. I just worked for Avenged Sevenfold. Zachy has the S1, and here one is. I mean, it's not like his signature or anything, but I mean, the graphics were awesome. You got the bad inlays. I was like, oh my God, I have to have it. It was pretty much my whole paycheck amount. I think it was like $515, I think, brand new back then. And I was like, I need to have this thing, but you never know what else is out there. So we ended up going to a couple other stores, and I remember it was just on my mind constantly. And then at one point, my brother looked at me and he's like, we need to just go back and buy that guitar because that thing is awesome. And I was like, you're 100% right. So that's what we did. We went back to the store. I bought it. And man, I was so excited. I played this thing like crazy. And back at that time, which is why I think this guitar means so much to me, is, you know, I was in one of my first bands that was kind of really doing anything. We weren't huge and we weren't really big, but locally we, you know, had a little bit of a fan base, and we played a lot of shows. We were playing probably 2 shows a week at the time. And yeah, it was just a fun time. I had no responsibilities. We were partying. We were, you know, just playing shows, and then the parties after the shows. And it was just a really fun time in life. There was no worries, you know. It was before I was able to have fun without, you know, substances or anything like that. So it was a great time. I mean, I'm sober now, but back then it was a great time in life, and so it just reminds me of all those great times. But anyway, I ended up getting into motocross racing and ended up trading that guitar for a dirt bike, or like half of a payment towards a dirt bike. And at the time, not knowing how really rare they were, there's only 150 of these made. And I guess I didn't really think about that, or really didn't know any better back then. And yeah, I traded it. And then, you know, a bunch of years went by, really didn't think about it. And I was like, you know, one day I was like, I would really love to have one of those Schecter Vampiras again, just because, like I said, it just makes me think of fun times. And I could not find one anywhere. And I mean, I was searching every day. I've probably have searched at least once a day for the past 15 years or so. Yeah, I'd say that's a good time frame. And, they would pop up. Some would be in really horrible condition and still asking a lot of money. I mean, these things have basically doubled in price since they came out. Or they'd want like a ton of money and then a ton of money to ship it because they were overseas or whatever. And yeah, it was impossible to find one. And basically, one day last year, I was just sitting, chilling on the couch, and I was like, you know what, let's do our daily reverb checking. And I typed it in, and boom, one popped up. It was in Pennsylvania at Manchester Music Mill, I believe it was. So hopefully I'm getting that right. Shout out to you guys. And they wanted, I think, $900 for it. And at first I was like, man, that's a lot of money. I don't know if I can really put that out right now. So I had messaged them and asked them if there was any wiggle room. And I was just sitting there jonesing, waiting for the reply. I was like, someone's going to buy this thing. Someone's going to buy this thing. So I remember ended up just being like, you know what, screw it. I don't care. I don't care. I'll pay whatever. Like, I ended up paying the $900. And, I think my credit card basically set on fire when I put in the numbers, but it is what it is. I was so excited that I finally found one. And it said it was in great shape, which when I got it, when we did the unboxing, this thing is, I wouldn't say mint, but it's in excellent shape. There's a couple little, dings and stuff, but to finally get one back, it meant a lot to me. I was super excited that I finally found one. And to be honest, this isn't even a guitar that I play a lot. I mean, it hangs there, and it's just one of those guitars that I just wanted, and I needed to have back in my collection because of kind of like my LTD H250. That has a story to it, and my solar my neon solar there, that has a story to it. So it's just like, it kind of one of those guitars that I just needed to have back in my collection. Yeah, it's not the original one. I tried to get the original one back because I know the person that still has it. I reached out to them and they finally got back to me and were like, I'm not really interested in getting rid of it, but if I ever am, I'll let you know. And I think literally I found this one a week after I talked to that person, which is pretty funny. But yeah, I was just really excited to finally have it back. So another thing that's really weird is it's super hard to find like any kind of ads or anything about this guitar. It's a limited edition, obviously, but I checked all of Schecter's catalogs, like 04, 05, 06. I mean, I think I went up to like 07, 08 just to see if maybe it was in there, and it was not. You can't find any kind of articles, nothing. The only thing I found is like on Musician's Friend. It's like the original listing for this guitar when it came out, but it doesn't really have any specs. So finding exact specs on this guitar is kind of a really difficult thing. I reached out to Schecter, and all they had to say was, we believe it's the same specs as like the base model S1. So going off of that, I'm going to say it is a mahogany body, obviously a bolt-on mahogany neck, I believe. It is a rosewood fretboard, 25.5 inch scale, 22 nickel frets. You have the mat inlays, black bindings all around the guitar and neck. Grover tuners, hardtail, probably, Schecter branded bridge. You have the Duncan Designs HB 102s, which a lot of people hate these pickups. I love the HB 102s. That's what came in my LTD H250 when I got that. One tone, 2 volumes with a push-pull 3-way toggle switch. And yeah, I mean, I have this in drop A sharp right now. And this thing plays and sounds really, really good. So enough talking. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in and check it out. Alright guys, well that's basically it for this video. I know some people might not like story time or stories or whatever like that. I know I talked a lot. I mean, I talk a lot in all my videos, which is just a habit, I guess. But I figured it was important enough to make a cool little video, change it up, not do like a full-on, deep dive review. And yeah, I figured I did the unboxing and we lost the footage to the full-on review that I did film. So why not just make some kind of video about this guitar, being that it is super special to me. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you made it here to the end. I tried to keep it short today, but be a good person, stay safe, go play your guitar, and we will see you in the next video.